Yes, Hot Shot Sports. We are back for this semester, folks. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking NBA All-Star Weekend, a way too early NFC North preview, and of course we have all the games, mean GIFs, everything else here on Hot Shot Sports, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome to Hot Shot Sports. I'm your host for this afternoon. I'm Colin Malliott. Sitting alongside me are Kyle Popovich and Alex Athanasio.
Ding!
I knew I'd mess it up. It's like a Tentacumpo. Like you said, it was Greek.
Greek thing,
yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about him in a little bit, but so I finally got my promotion from the live studio audience up to hosting this show. So I'm very excited.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good stuff.
So we're going to get right off into it. NBA news. I don't know if you fellas have heard, but DeMarcus Cousins is on the move to the Pelicans. So he was traded away from the Kings. They traded away for Buddy Hield, Tyreke Evans, Langston Galloway, as well as 2 more draft picks. So who won that trade, Kyle? What do you got?
Oh, it's the Pelicans, easily. I mean, come on. You got Boogie Cousins and Unibrow Davis playing on the same front court for the Pelicans. Not going to say this is anything big for the Pelicans. I think they're holding the 8th seed, or they're a game away from the 8th seed right now.
I think they're just under 500.
Yeah, they're like just outside the Western Conference playoff standings, but this is a huge gain for them. But it's a huge loss for the Kings. I know they weren't doing much this season, but you're trading one of the better centers in the league, and you get guys like Buddy Hield, Tyreke Evans, and 2 draft picks back. Like, that's a huge loss.
Don't forget Langston Galloway.
Langston Galloway, yeah, exactly. Oh, look out, that's the sweetener of the deal.
Yeah,
it's easy to say the Pelicans.
Those picks will be almost worthless, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
And losing a superstar, in the Kings losing a superstar is just
definitely
foolish, in my opinion.
I think one of the things you got to think about, though, is does this make the Pelicans an actual threat, or is this just are they going to be in the playoffs and like contending, or is this going to make them be able to actually go far?
Those first 10 games, I think that we're going to see with DeMarcus Cousins actually like teaming up with the rest of the Pelicans besides just Anthony Davis. Those first 10 games are going to be huge, I would say. It could turn out that we have another Dwight Howard where DeMarcus Cousins just kind of
he moves
and then it kind of
no motivation.
Too big for the organization, no motivation, and
right.
It'll be interesting. Definitely, I think we have the potential to see a new superpower kind of taking shape in the Pelicans. So it will be kind of fun to see.
I think the fun part to see for the Pelicans, especially Pelicans fans, is if these guys do squeeze into that 8th seed, you're playing the Warriors. You're playing the Warriors first round. But what's intriguing to me is that matchup, the bigs. You know, you got Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins going against 2 for Golden State. They're big guys. I mean, Draymond Green, he's a good power forward, but he's 6'9", a little undersized. Center, I mean,
that size is going to be huge when it comes to the playoffs.
Exactly, and if there's going to be an advantage for the Pelicans, it's that. But, I mean, the shooters, there's just too many for Golden State.
Definitely too many, but also, I don't know how it's going to work with the chemistry, because DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, they're both kind of centers. I guess you could call one of them power forward, so it's going to be, in crunch time, who you give the ball to. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins, who's obviously, great, or Anthony Davis, who's been there for a while, and just scored 52 points in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think chemistry-wise, besides just them being both post players, with how DeMarcus Cousins kind of is as a person, both like on the court, there is some I guess behavior issues that we've seen throughout the year. But I honestly think top 10 talent, that's a loss for the Kings organization.
Oh, huge loss.
But you mentioned Anthony Davis's huge All-Star game. So we're gonna move on a little bit now to the All-Star game and All-Star break as a whole. We've just not seen it's turned into the Pro Bowl, honestly. It's gone, honestly. So it was in New Orleans, but it was very, very average, I would say. Especially when it came to the dunk contest was something we've seen every single year. There's only a finite amount of dunks that these athletes can really do. And so the drone dunk was about the only innovation, I guess I would say, from the dunk contest perspective. They did the mannequin challenge during the celebrity game. That's just kind of
Yeah, welcome to 3 months ago with that mannequin challenge. They're a little late on that trend.
But yeah, that's the sort of things we see. The same sort of things every single year. And do you guys have any ways that they can really reinvigorate the NBA All-Star Weekend?
I think there needs to be some type of like incentive for the All-Star Game. You know how MLB obviously does it to where the World Series is you get the home turf if you win the All-Star Game. You can't really. I don't know if you should do that with the NBA, but maybe like charity-wise, like the East, has a charity, the West has a charity, and they play for that, something,
Yeah.
Because 191 to 182 with no, competition, the fourth is not really what people want to see.
That shows how much defense goes into a regular.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true.
I mean, honestly, the All-Star Game's a great place for James Harden to play. I mean, let's be honest with that. But I think the biggest thing, and this is my big beef with the Pro Bowl in the NFL, is that the games aren't fun anymore. I mean, they're not. They're not fun. There's no defense.
I have not tuned into one since like 2006.
No, I don't watch an NBA All-Star game in a while.
Besides doing my homework for this
like,
show, like
yeah,
I did not voluntarily. It was a chore to tune into All-Star Weekend. So
the score was 192 to 182.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fun for some dunks going on. I think they set a record for most dunks in an All-Star game. But when you have that, I would much rather, instead of a game, either shorten up the game or add more maybe skills competitions before the week. If they have the dunk contest and the three-point, get this skills competition going. They had that a couple years back, and that was actually fun because you're seeing these guys actually show off their skills rather than I'm here, this is almost like a free weekend vacation for me, and that's about it.
Well, it's in New Orleans, so I mean that was
it had to have been
fun for the fellas at least.
Oh, definitely.
But, one of the things that another just kind of thought that I had is just it's really like we said Pro Bowl-ish, but like players can get away with things like Steph Curry laying down on the ground when Giannis is coming. We need a little bit more edge to that game.
Exactly.
I don't know. But so moving on, staying with the NBA though, we talked a little bit about how the Pelicans could possibly spoil the day in the playoffs for the Warriors at least. But we've seen the same sorts of, or we're going to keep seeing the same sort of different playoff pictures for the next couple of years with the same players. So can anyone really even stack up, beat perhaps to Cavs and Warriors in their respective divisions? No.
Right now,
lots of shaking heads. So.
Right now, I don't think anyone can unless they make any big changes. But at this point, it's just Cavs Warriors until those teams blow up, and I don't really think those teams are going to blow up anytime soon. I mean, the Celtics, you could argue, might give the Cavs a push. I mean, the Spurs are always a good team to give the Warriors a push.
Spurs you can never really even count out.
Exactly. But I don't know.
Power Popovich. I guess
yeah, exactly. But right now, no. I think we'll see Cavs Warriors for a third time. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on
how you view those teams.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the NBA is a super team league now. Yeah. That's what it is. It's no more, oh man, which guy is going to carry his team. It's no more about that. It's just about let's build a team, multiple superstars, so we can win a ring. That's what it is. It's not about building a legacy, being that guy. It's more about, I just want a ring. And that's what it is now. And you have that in Golden State. You saw Kevin Durant pull a LeBron, go there. I mean, you got this thing going in Cleveland where they acquired Kyle Korver. They need a three-point shooter. There's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
They have one of the deepest bench.
Yes, exactly. Ever. So it kind of just shows you how, in my opinion, boring the NBA is now. I mean, so many people will say something else, but I don't find this league fun anymore. These super teams. I used to love seeing, all right, this guy's got something going on this team. Let's see if he can build something. Kind of like Giannis in Milwaukee.
That's one thing that we're kind of blessed with as Wisconsinites or Bucks fans, I should say. I'm not sure about yourself, Kyle, but with Giannis, like having like a low market team with a superstar, one superstar, I would say, because Jabari obviously isn't quite there yet. But that's something that I really enjoy watching personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because you got that one guy you can follow, you can look up to. And it's not fun, especially, look at Cleveland. This is one thing that bugs me. Cleveland, they hated LeBron. They hated him so much.
They
burned his jersey. For 4 years, they hated LeBron. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to come back. Cool, I'm the Akron Hammer again. And they're just like, oh my God, I love LeBron. I always loved you. And it's like, how as a fan can you do that? Like, if I was a Bulls fan and say, like, Derrick Rose became what he needed to become, and then he just left, won some rings elsewhere, and then he came back, I wouldn't welcome him back. I'd be like, all right, cool that you're back, but you left us, dude.
How was Miami for
Cleveland was pretty bad those 4 years. I mean, they weren't terrible or anything like that because they got Kyrie, but it's disappointing.
Well, speaking, like I kind of touched on the low budget Bucks or low market team, I should say.
Not low budget.
Yeah, not low budget. But so the Bucks have this sort of with their new rebranding, they got new jerseys, they got new logo. It looks really awesome. They started this Own the Future sort of hashtag chant, whatever it ends up being. and it's been that way for a couple years, or for at least a year.
Right.
So Own the Future, it was just kind of this culture that they were trying to implement as the Bucks. But when is it going to? Do you guys have any insight as to when it will stop being Own the Future and turn into a little bit of Own the Present? Or
I think we're seeing a little bit of it right now,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think with the All-Star game and how Giannis was intense and had 30 points, and he clearly was the only one playing offense and defense out there. Losing Jabari hurts. I don't think we're going to go that far in the playoffs this year. I do think we'll make the playoffs this year.
Right. Yeah.
I do think once Jabari gets back next year, we have a good shot at being a contender. But I don't know. We're young. Giannis is 22 years old right now, and I mean, LeBron's 33, so it's kind of going to be that passing of the torch, I think, soon. And I think
as far as the rest of the roster is too, we do like Roy Hibbert is a name that I hear now, and I'm like, oh, Roy Hibbert, like he's a beast, but not necessarily. He brings a little like veteranship, a little age to that to the otherwise very, I'd say very young. Bucks.
It's overall a young roster.
Yeah, it's like Malcolm Brogdon is another player that I'm really sort of interested to see where he goes, or like talent wise, I guess. But Bucks, I really want to
say one thing.
See them hashtag Own the Present. I want to see something happen where they like do something well enough they have a good year where it is actually owning the present.
The one thing I will say, the first step to becoming that present team is firing Jason Kidd. I mean, I like it. He's been a good transitional coach.
Definitely.
He's had some decent rosters. And, barely made the playoffs 2 years ago, missed the playoffs last year. And it doesn't help that you're suffering injuries, but some good coaches overcome that. And when you got a guy like Giannis, who's basically leading Milwaukee in every statistical category. I mean, this guy's literally carrying your team. So I think, what Alex talked about, Giannis is kind of marking the Bucks now. He became
he's the face.
He's the face of the franchise.
He's got the hashtag, like the little emoji thing on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he's really owning the Bucks, and that's so good for for Milwaukee. They're getting a new stadium soon. Like you said, the rebranding.
Yeah.
They went out and got Greg Monroe. Whether he's working out or not in some people's minds, they made that move. And I think some other teams are going to be interested. This is a super team league. And say Jabari in a year or two develops into that guy.
Right.
Say Giannis keeps being what he is. It's a perfect opportunity for Milwaukee to maybe transition to a new head coach and get somebody who can sell the franchise as a win-now team.
What I do think needs to happen, though, because I've been thinking about that too. I agree with that, but at the same time, I think he needs to move to a position, like a front office position with us. Because I like Jason Kidd, in the Bucks organization, but I think we have a young team and he's a young coach. It's hard to have both those things,
and
combined
have
winning.
It mesh well. Yeah,
right.
You need like I was touching with Roy Hibbert. You need a little age. You need a couple veterans on that team to really keep them grounded and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So that was a great discussion on the NBA, folks. We're gonna take a break right here for a Com Club promo. So stay tuned, but we'll be back with more hot takes. Welcome back to Hot Shot Sports. We just got done with a very in-depth NBA discussion. I'm glad we were able to touch on all of our points there. And it is time for game time.
Good time!
First thing we got is our 3 cheers, jeers, and tears for the for this week, I guess.
This week, a lot more relevant.
Yeah. So our cheers. Starting off, we have winners keep winning. Tom Brady, he's won another Super Bowl.
5.
They one for every.
Count them.
Yeah.
5.
Count them, honestly.
5. A 25-point deficit that he overcame.
Hey man,
5.
think about it.
Yeah.
That's something that, does that solidify him as the GOAT?
In my opinion.
Can we,
Right now.
right now?
Right now.
Right now, yes.
I'll allow it, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll allow the GOAT for right now.
I'm only saying right now because Aaron Rodgers isn't retired yet.
Fair enough.
And I'm saying once
Wisconsin.
that happens, I mean, call me a Wisconsin, homer, but I think.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think for right now he is the GOAT, but
Yeah, I think.
He's chance to be dethroned.
Oh yes, definitely.
Number 2, Boogie in the Brow.
Boogie!
Back together. Good for that
Reunion. Are we going to see Drake at some New Orleans
I
games?
sure hope so. The Drake was on the picture.
Yeah.
I chose that one specifically.
Yeah.
But hopefully Drake's back in the picture as well. Our last cheer is Katie and Russ.
Hey, they
Shout
hooked
out to
up
them.
again.
Yeah,
they hooked up again.
Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook had the alley-oop. So they're not on speaking terms.
No.
But they're on ooping terms.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
So
I think
a little team up in the All-Star game.
Oh yeah, I thought it would have been hilarious if Katie would have just ooped that and Russell just turned around.
He
just completely ignored him. Because we saw, I think there's a post-game, our pre-game video of Katie walking past Russ, and Russ was just kind of avoiding eye contact.
Groups of people, and he just kind of
Yeah, and so when I saw Katie to Russ, something like that on the court, I'm like, Russ is going to ignore him, but he didn't. And I'm just like, oh, I think that would have been awesome for the media to just see Russ completely ignore Katie.
I'm honestly surprised they were on the same court at the same time. With how much venom has been between the two.
Yeah, honestly.
It would have been fun if they would have had them completely separate.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them
It's like one's on the court, the other one can't be on that court.
Yeah, yep. So we're gonna move on now to jeers.
Aww.
We're gonna make fun of people now.
Yes, I love that.
First off, Jeremy Lin, what are you doing, bro? So we got Jimmy Neutron. Bring up that Heyman. Yeah, we got Jeremy Lin behind me, looking like Jimmy Neutron. Like he's got a blast.
Got a blast.
I have no words. I did not think that was something that was possible with the human hair. Like I thought it was just on Nickelodeon, honestly.
I'm thinking it's a way to stay relevant. We had
he's looking for a new contract.
Yeah, honest. Lin Sanity was 6 years ago. He's got to stay in the media.
He's got to keep getting that PR 101.
He's doing what he can. That's for sure.
Number 2, Kyrie Irving, just in general. But Kyrie Irving saying that he believes the Earth is flat. I'm gonna go out hot take right here. I'm gonna say it's round.
Interesting.
Little Sky, I'm coming out as a Earth rounder, round earther. There we go.
Has he seen the pictures?
I think he was asked that, and what he said to that was, he's seen a lot of things that have been disproven.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That he wants people to do
He had a good quote that I unfortunately forgot, but it was basically just like, hey, people have lied about other stuff before. He's got a point. And last year is to Steph Curry. Rest in peace. We kind of talked about there was no edge to the All-Star game anymore, and dude. Take a charge.
Yeah,
go
take a charge.
Play some Dion Giannis.
Like if we could pull that up on the full screen.
Yeah.
It's the bottom right GIF we got going on the bottom right, and literally he just falls.
Lays down at the free throw line.
Earlier he'd gotten dunked on by Giannis, and he just wasn't having it this time. Just lays down.
That's true. That being said, I wouldn't want to be in front of Giannis either when he's coming full screen from half court.
But you are also not an NBA superstar.
That is true.
True. MVP.
So last one, we're gonna hit up tiers now. Sad. Unfortunately. So it's the Falcons. Just poor Falcons blowing that lead. I feel for them. I feel for the players that didn't have any real say in it.
Yeah.
Or like the play call, that kind of could have won them.
Just run the ball.
Exactly. I mean, oh man, we saw this with the Seahawks and Patriots, and Kyle Shanahan. He's a brilliant offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
But what are you doing?
He got to the Super Bowl.
He got to the Super Bowl, and it got him a big payday as the 49ers head coach. But it's like, run the ball. You have 2 running backs who could easily be starting on other teams, getting full reps.
Yeah.
What?
It was a foolish endeavor.
It's confusing.
But so last 2, we're going to speed round these 2. Stanley Wilson III, former Lion. He's been arrested for the 3rd time in less than a year while naked. So I think there's something else going on there. That's a tier, not a jeer.
Yup. Because that's sad.
Get some help.
No words for that.
Stop.
Yeah, and then last one, really quick. No more football till September 7th.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Sad.
Tier, no Sean Moreno tier. On now, we have our audience going to be participating a little bit. They have a couple would you rathers for us.
Would you rather?
So,
okay.
Amber, take it away.
Would you rather be Blair Walsh after his 27-yard miss against the Seahawks, or be Steve Bartman after his catch interference in the 03 NLCS?
Oh my gosh.
I think that's an easy one, honestly. I think you got to be Blair Walsh there because you have next year to make kicks. You have next year to make people forget about Bartman. He didn't have next year to redeem himself.
I don't think he wasn't allowed back then.
No.
No.
Yeah, he had 13 seasons of just nobody wanting him near the ballpark.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, and now, they won the World Series, so he's fine.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, it is a little, you have to keep in mind, it's this 2017 now.
Oh, yeah.
Cubs have won a World Series.
Yeah, but the sad thing is,
Bartman's now on TV and stuff like that.
Exactly.
oh yeah, but I
Took
mean
a
that's
while,
13 seasons. Blair Walsh.
The 13 years of abuse.
The following year with Blair Walsh, though, is that he got released like later on in the year,
Yeah.
this past season, and now he got signed by the Seahawks. So he's good. Like
Oh,
he
yeah,
got
it'll be
signed
fine.
coincidentally by the team that he missed the field goal against.
Yeah,
I don't know,
ironically.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Bartman
right.
he didn't get
Yeah.
signed anywhere for 13 seasons.
Definitely
still
not.
going. So
Definitely
yeah,
not.
I'd take Blair Walsh.
Number 2, what do we got?
Number 2. Would you rather party with pre-retirement Johnny Football or
Ooh.
party with post-Super Bowl Bull Gronk?
Ooh.
I
That's a tough one. We had to incorporate Johnny Manziel
have to.
somehow on
You
this show.
have to.
Yeah.
I would choose. The only reason why I would choose Manziel is to
Yeah.
hear his stories. I want to hear like
fair.
his stories in college and in the NFL of
And
like
in
why
NFL.
he bombed. I want to see if he's the type of guy where it's like, well, like. I was actually I was pretty good, but like the
Yeah.
team didn't give me a chance because I thought I wasn't partying
Uncle
as
Rico.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
Uncle
so
Rico
from
kind of.
Napoleon
But
Dynamite, yeah.
that's the only reason is for the stories with Manziel.
I'd like to hear some stories about like what was he like in the dorms? Who was his freshman year roommate?
Yeah,
That's very
Honestly,
true.
Partying with him.
That's very true.
Do you have one?
I would have to say Manziel too, but mainly because I think I could, hang with Manziel. With
can?
Gronk, I don't know.
Gronk
I've
did
heard
it.
stories.
Yeah, he looked
I
like he
don't
was
know if
having
I
a
can
lot
do
of
the
fun
Gronk.
at that celebration, like the
Parade.
the parade. Yeah,
Yup.
the Patriots parade there.
Yeah.
He was catching beers on top of the bus. That was
Yup.
a sight to behold.
Legend.
Yup.
Definite
Gotta love
legend.
it.
We'll say
Legend.
both of them partying legends. It would be a pleasure to party with either of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
honor,
come on.
honor.
Last
three?
one. We got one more.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
number 3.
right. Number 3. Would you rather be trapped in a room for 24 hours with Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless?
Now,
This
Stephen
is
A.
a tough
Smith.
one.
Stephen A. Smith is a dear friend of mine, and I
a close
say,
friend.
yeah, no, oh god, do we have to choose one of the two?
If honest, neither. But if you had to choose one,
I would go with Steven because he's more entertaining as like a person.
yeah,
Like-
he had the SNL.
Yeah,
parody
Jay
of
Farrell
himself.
impersonated him.
Yeah,
That
we
was
were
great.
watching that a little bit before.
Yeah, Skip, he's a little bit more of a guy who just doesn't know what he's talking about. Steven knows what he's talking about, but he knows that he's turning it into just a terrible hot take. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's more fun.
Yeah.
Also, I love
Cold
when...
take.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's how it is. I would choose Stephen A. Smith. What about
I
you?
would definitely say Stephen A. Smith, just because
Hey.
Skip Bayless is really kind of just says things to get a rise out of people.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even like informative anymore. It's almost just for ratings.
could-
And while Stephen A. is, annoying in his own right, I think he makes some good takes sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
fair. I honestly, I had it. It was gonna be Stephen A. before the show.
Are you changing it?
I'm changing it to
Wow.
Skip now.
You're changing it.
Really?
I'm
Why?
self-proclaimed number one Skip Bayless hater on Twitter.
Okay.
And
I replied to just
So-
about every single one of his tweets with some hate. So I think I'd like to get into his brain a little bit.
Oh,
you
pick
know?
his brain a little
Yeah,
bit.
you
Okay.
know, I'll be in the
Got
room for
it.
24 hours with them. It'll be fun to
give you
share
that.
some
True.
meals,
That's
was fun.
true.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, moving on now. We got we're moving away from games.
Moving away from
I
games.
apologize. No more games.
Hey, it
But
was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, as far as the NL Central is concerned, we're going to baseball now.
Okay.
Knock it out of the park. What can we look forward to in the NL Central coming up for this next season? Obviously the Cubs.
Cubs.
Cubs, they did pretty well last year.
They,
Not sure if you
they did
heard.
pretty decent.
World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to brag
So
about.
Yeah, exactly.
what else can we kind of look for in the upcoming season?
Will the Brewers win more than 50, 60 games this year?
Hey.
I don't know.
Always, it's something I wonder every single year,
Right.
and every year I feel like I'm disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm a former
Exactly.
Cubs fan, I would say. I mean, not now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Brewers, really, it's not about winning now. It's about building a team that can win in
Yeah,
2019,
definitely.
2020.
It's about building a AAA squad.
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at what the Cardinals did a couple years ago. They were a playoff team, winning a World Series, and they're still competing.
Yeah.
The Cubs just won a World Series, and they still have depth where they can still compete for the next 5 to 6 years.
Right.
Seeing the Reds fall off, Pirates are starting to fall off. It's the Brewers' turn to be that next team in the NL Central. So I think the number one priority for the Brewers is to get future talent.
I agree. I think they need some household names too, because besides Ryan Braun, I mean, I'm not following baseball. I'm more of a fair weather Brewers fan
Okay.
than
Yeah.
anyone. Besides that name, there's not too many big names that I even know about. So I
No.
think once we get some young guys that start to do something,
Yeah.
then it'll be a little more,
I think that the Milwaukee sort of culture now of building a young team that can sort of own the future is
Yep.
something that I think is going to extend from more like I said onto the Brewers franchise more than just the Bucks. So,
Oh, definitely.
as long as they can secure some young talent for the years going forward, I think we could possibly see a winning.
You never know.
Yeah, in a
These things
couple
can
years,
happen.
definitely.
I don't know.
I think right now in NL Central, it's going to be the typical Cubs. Cardinals will fight for a wild card. I mean, the Cubs, they lose Dexter Fowler and Aroldis Chapman, but they get
That
Kyle
is big.
Schwarber back. I mean, that dude
Yeah.
surprisingly came back
Absolute
from an early ACL
monster,
tear,
yeah.
came back in the World Series, was like the low-key MVP, because without him being DH, the Cubs don't have the chance that they do.
That is
I mean,
true.
losing Dexter Fowler is huge. He was a great leadoff guy. He had that leadoff home run.
Yeah.
Game 7 of the World Series, So, I mean, that's huge. You lose him to a division rival. But it's not like the Cubs didn't do that with John Lackey and Jason Hayward the year before. So
Right.
I kind of expected kind of like a flip-flop scenario.
As
But
far as like Pirates.
Pirates, no. Pirates, they were a playoff team 2 years ago, a wild card team. They lost.
McCutcheon.
Yup. And now Andrew McCutcheon, he's on the trading block. And then you got the Reds, who nobody knows what they're doing. I think the Brewers definitely have a better plan in place rather than the Reds. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Brewers finish 4th in division this year.
Okay.
They could
Better
surprise
than-
finish 3rd if the Pirates fall apart.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one thing you got to look for in the NL Central is the surprising teams.
Yeah,
Because we know the Cubs and
I was
Cardinals.
just gonna say Cubs and Cardinals dominance. Those being the top two.
Yep.
You really can't even hope to see another team kind of breaking through that unless we
Right.
see like a really crazy sort of upset season where they can actually can keep it going for a while.
Right.
But so moving on now, we actually have a promo coming up for the Cooley Region
Promo.
Humane Society. So take a look at those cute dogs and cats and stuff like that. And we'll be right back.
W Lacrosse's student-run television station, WMCM TV, sends out a group of students to film some of the most precious animals of the Cooley Region Humane Society in a segment we like to call Perfect Pets. The Cooley Region Humane Society offers a variety of programs and services at little or no cost to help both animals and people in our community. If you have found or lost a pet, are in need of training assistance, need cat behavior consultation, desire to volunteer, need to surrender your pet, or are looking to adopt a pet, the Cooley Region Humane Society offers this and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Adopt or become a volunteer today. To find out more about these services, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. Nice. All right, moving on now. I know we said no football until September.
Football.
But football.
Football.
Hey,
Football.
a way too early NFC North preview is what we got coming up right now.
Okay.
So I know you're a Packers fan.
Yes,
we
I am.
discussed
Diehard.
this. So
Diehard.
do you have anything? I'll just push it over to you right away. Do you have anything that's really on the shopping list or something that needs to be improved on?
We
going
need
forward?
corners.
Corners.
We need corners
Yeah.
and we need corners. That's what we need.
Corners on corners on
We
corners.
need people who can just, if our defense can limit other teams to under 25 points even, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers will get it done. That's
Oh, yeah.
all. We need
We've-
someone in
we've
the
seen that.
secondary.
We've seen
Exactly. So we just need a little bit of help on the defensive end. We need to get, I'd say maybe a running back in the draft too, because we're not sure with Lacey if he's even going to be back anymore.
Speculation. What we were talking about the Patriots that he might.
Yeah,
end
they've
up there.
expressed
Like,
interest.
yeah,
Put that in
yeah.
quotes
I don't like
because
that.
it's rumored.
So that was
I don't
something
like
that
that.
first thing
Yeah.
first when I heard it, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'd prefer.
Yeah, so
Well,
not-
not wear a butt
yeah.
there.
Not
One thing I
too
do want
much.
to propose a question for the Packers. Do you think this is the offseason Ted Thompson delves into free agency?
I think he has to. I think he has to
Backs
because
against the wall at this point.
we've been trying to do it through the draft all these years, and however good a rookie player is, he's a rookie. And in the playoffs, when you're going against Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, I mean, you need free agents that have been there before that can do it. And
that can at
yeah,
least
I think-
match up a little bit with those
Yeah,
players.
Ted-
We just saw Julio Jones especially, which he's a freak.
Yeah, no one can really
generally.
check him anyway.
Yeah, let's
But
be
that
honest.
was they were running circles almost literally around it.
was embarrassing.
Yeah,
It was
it was
embarrassing.
not something I like to see as a Packer fan. But honestly, I'm happy with how the past 6 or so seasons have gone.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
no, I
can't
was
complain
gonna say, come on.
at all.
Yeah, no.
But I definitely agree. Defensive backs are something that we need to.
And edge rushers. They got
Yeah,
some free agents.
That's true. We're getting
you know.
old with
Julius
Yup.
Julius Peppers
Julius,
can't really
Dayton
get it done.
Jones, Nick Perry,
Yeah.
all free agents.
Yeah, that'll be a little stressful couple months coming up for Packers fans.
Yeah.
But as far as Bears, I know
I'm gonna
a
keep the
resident Bears
Yup.
expert up here.
I'm going to keep this short and simple for the Bears. Figure out the quarterback position. I mean, that's all you got to do. You have the 3rd pick overall in the draft. Do you trade for Garoppolo with that 2nd rounder, or do you draft somebody? So I think that's the big key for the Bears. Figure out the quarterback position. That solves a lot more than you think. Look at the Cowboys, for example. So figure out quarterback position. Worry about the rest after.
Speaking of Garoppolo, we had a good segue here.
Yes, we did.
We had the poll that you put on your Twitter, and it was, if you were a GM in the NFL, who would you pick? And it was 81% chose Jimmy Garoppolo over Tony Romo. So even a player with some playoff experience.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowl championships under his.
air quotes.
I mean, you look at Garoppolo, that's crazy.
So thank you guys so much. It's been a blast up here.
Yes.
Finally going to be off the live studio audience.
Honest.
And stay tuned. Next week, I think we have more sports shows, probably. But this is Hot Shot Sports. Talk to you next week. Oh, I was over there. Hey. Could have been more.